If you're overwhelmed, frustrated, and sick and tired of the clutter in your life, maybe it's time to do something about it. In this podcast, the most organized man in America, Andrew Mellen, demystifies how to organize your world. Andrew gives you the keys to stop clutter from robbing you of your precious time, freedom, and joy in your life. Here's your host, Andrew Mellen.
Welcome to Declutter Your Life. I'm your host, Andrew Mellen.
Today's topic is multitasking and the fact that multitasking doesn't exist. Now, if as soon as I say that you have some reaction to that, let me talk to you about that for a second. Multitasking doesn't exist. You cannot do two complex or even two simple tasks at the exact same time, regardless of what story you have to tell yourself. There's great brain science out in the world. So let's be clear. You cannot bake a cake and perform open heart surgery at the exact same time. You can do them sequentially, but you cannot do them simultaneously. You can't be in the kitchen mixing batter and be elbow deep in somebody's chest cavity working on their heart. It's impossible. It's just, if it's on your resume, you need to take it off your resume. If you think it's your superpower or your secret superpower, you need to stop lying to yourself and to everybody around you. You cannot do two things at the exact same time. Where your power is, where your agency is how you move from the kitchen, in our metaphor, how you move from the kitchen to the operating room. When you move from the kitchen to the operating room, are you moving deliberately? Are you moving with focus and plan? Or are you meandering down the hallway? Are you stopping to gossip? Are you getting lost in a story and telling people about how arduous the cake batter was and how apprehensive you are about the operation? All of those things are little ways that you discount your agency and your ability to move from task to task with deliberate focus and intention. Now, let's be clear. You're not a robot and you don't have to move in some robotic way between tasks. The point that I'm making is if you are trying to do many things in a small window of time, your ability to compartmentalize each task and swiftly move from task to task, sustaining and maintaining your focus is essential. Otherwise, you will undercut your ability to move specifically and deliberately between those tasks. So there's not a lot of secret formula here. It's about mindfulness. It's about presence. It's about awareness and being able to pivot accurately from task to task without a lot of drag, making sure that you have finished the previous task with enough clarity that as you pivot, you're not dragging the previous task with you, distracting yourself, still processing or shutting down that task in your mind while you're bringing your attention to the next task. You want to be able to pivot cleanly and directly from this activity to that activity. And remember, that is where the agency lies. You are in complete control of how you do that pivot. When you are baking the cake, you are baking the cake until the cake is finished. When you are operating on somebody's heart, you are operating until you either fix them or they die. You don't have much control over those processes when you're in them. Where you have control is how you move from the task to the next task. That is all about you, and that's where your power lies. So multitasking doesn't exist. The sequential tasking totally does exist, and that's what you want to start reframing the conversation with yourself about, is moving from task to task deliberately with focus, awareness, and clarity.
So that's it for today's episode. Be sure to join us here for other episodes of Declutter Your Life. Again, I'm your host, Andrew Mellen. I'll look forward to being with you again real soon.
That's it for today's episode. Head on over to iTunes and subscribe to the show. One lucky person every single week that posts a review on iTunes will win a chance in the grand prize drawing to win a $25,000 private VIP day with Andrew Mellen himself. Be sure to go to declutteryourlifeshow.com and pick up a free copy of Andrew's gift. And join us on the next episode.